Well, today is Pink Shirt Day, a national day that encourages Canadians to take a stand against bullying and support safe, inclusive schools. But for many young people, the impact of bullying lasts far beyond a single day. That's where YouthSpeak is making a difference, hiring young people who've overcome trauma and empowering them to share their stories directly in schools, encouraging kids to open up and ask for help. With more, we're joined by Carson, Bohdi, and Pratheep, Charlesjanthan, both survivors of bullying and now YouthSpeak presenters. Thank you so much for joining us, you two.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you. I want to get right into things. Yeah. Both of you have experienced bullying within schools, within your life. Carson, let's start with you if you don't mind sharing your experiences.
Well, growing up, I started off in French immersion school. We got moved into English school, and that's kind of where my bullying journey kind of begins. I was kind of bullied based off of how I looked, how I acted, and it was nothing too out of the ordinary what I was doing. I was just a fun, eccentric, excited kid. That shifted around third grade, where I talk about this in our stories, where I felt like this cloud was over me, and I didn't realize at the time I was suffering with depression. That is a battle I still fight today. And it took a long time for me to learn how to stand up for myself.
Thank you for sharing. Pratheep, what about you?
Yeah, I think similar to Carson. So for me, it started at a young age. When I went to a school, it was predominantly white, and I was the only kid of color. And I remember one day at lunch, I got made fun of for my lunch and the way it smelt, and I started getting picked upon. And that kind of led to more things where I started kind of doubting the color of my skin, what I looked like, and how I didn't look like everyone else around me. I wanted to change all of those aspects of me. It wasn't until later in life where, I really got inspired by some girl in my high school to start to really embrace myself and love myself. And that's what we're here to kind of share.
Yeah, you two are so strong for overcoming it and now turning those experiences from your past into kind of helping the future. Why is it that you wanted to be a part of YouthSpeak, Carson?
Well, for me, YouthSpeak kind of landed in a lot of different ways, like at the perfect time in my life. I had just released a poetry collection. I had just started to come out about being trans, non-binary, and it was important to me that the youth in Ontario, around the country, could see someone like me on stage sharing their experiences, being like, hey, it's okay, you can get through the bullying, you can get through the trauma, you can get through all of these different things that I've experienced, and I'm still standing here, so you have an opportunity to do the same thing.
And of course, Pratheep, this is peer-to-peer.
Yeah.
What do you think the difference is in having maybe younger people come into the schools, talking to school-age kids? Does that make a difference?
100%. I think when youth are now talking to youth, there's more of a connection, right? You're not listening to a assembly from someone who's much older, who's, gone through this. We've just lived through this, not even maybe less than 10, 15 years ago. And so that impact is for sure there. And we see it every single time that we're at schools. At the end of presentations, there's students that come up to us every once in a while and will share, hey, I went through the same thing you're going through. And even to say, I've had kids come up to me where they've said, I get made fun of for my school lunches, or I get bullied at school. And as sad as that is to hear, it's like we understand that, we're here to make a change, and that by us being there, they're able to now talk to someone about their feelings and open to us, and hopefully be open to resources that we're there to provide them.
And you are seeing firsthand the impact, like you said, having kids come up to you, sharing their experiences, how impactful, how important the work that you two are doing. It is Pink Shirt Day, of course, so before we go, I would love for both of you to give one piece of advice to someone watching today who might be struggling right now with bullying. I'll start with you, Carson.
Yes, of course. I guess first off, I'd want to say that, bullying is so complex, and it's so much harder these days than what some of us had to go through. I was just at that cusp of where it was starting to become more of an online thing. So I think it's important to remind youth that, you can take a step back, and we talk about that in our online overdrive presentations. And it's important to take a step away, to give yourself that time to really process it. Do not think that you're alone in this, because you're most definitely not alone. And then also reach out for help and support wherever you can, whether it's school, your parents, whatever is the situation for you.
Pratheep?
Yeah, kind of just shadowing what Carson said, but also I just want to let any other student or any youth that is watching us today this morning, just want to let you know that you matter, and that you are not alone in this battle. and that please reach out for help, right? Whether it's through Kids Help Phone or some other resources, or just visiting our website, or talking to a family and friend that you trust. Just reach out and ask for help.
We appreciate both of you sharing your stories today. Thanks so much again.
No problem. Thank you so much for having us again.
Thank you for having us.
Of course.
It's a really important conversation.
Yes.
It is. It is on Pink Shirt Day, no less. Carson and Pratheep, both YouthSpeak from YouthSpeak on this Pink Shirt Day. We'll be back after this.